In this podcast episode, Emma Grede, a self-made billionaire and founder of multiple successful brands, shares her personal journey and mindset secrets behind building a thriving business and life. She addresses the pressures of modern entrepreneurship, the importance of self-belief, managing emotions, and balancing ambition with family. Emma opens up about her upbringing in East London, her experiences with anger and resilience, the value of community, and how moving to the U.S. reshaped her perspective on opportunity. Throughout the conversation, Emma challenges conventional ideas about success, money, and the power of starting with oneself. Emma challenges the prevailing notion that only billion-dollar unicorns are valid businesses. She emphasizes that success comes in many shapes and sizes, and that many small to medium-sized enterprises provide fulfilling lifestyles and positively impact their communities. Emma stresses the importance of self-reflection about whether perceived limitations are real or self-imposed mental barriers. The critical step, she says, is to get out of your own way. Stop overthinking and take action, accepting that business and life evolve through seasons and continuous learning. Emma's upbringing in a single-parent household in East London shaped her sense of capability and self-worth. From a young age, she balanced caring for her siblings with household responsibilities, which instilled a strong work ethic and early independence. Despite challenging circumstances, including the absence of her father, she never felt disadvantaged. Instead, Emma credits her mother for instilling hope and the belief that no one was better than her, fostering confidence that outpaced her peers. Her family's female-driven environment showed her that women are deeply capable, and the lack of a male presence didn't diminish her. Emma highlights how ambition fueled by relentless work ethic was central to her success. From childhood jobs to entrepreneurial ventures, she hustled tirelessly, always focused on proving her capability. She advocates for visibility and proximity in professional settings, especially for women, encouraging people to have their hand up and demonstrate excellence openly. For Emma, success and wealth were never accidental, but the outcome of intentional effort combined with audacity to ask for what she was worth. Emma discusses how her parents' separation influenced her expectations for relationships and marriage. She was clear about refusing to settle for a partner who didn't match her ambition or standards. Meeting her husband, who also became her first business investor, was a pivotal moment. Their connection combined friendship, business, and love, shaped by shared values and mutual respect. Emma stresses maintaining high standards for oneself and others, building relationships that align with personal and professional goals. Emma candidly talks about her childhood default emotion being anger, a reflection of her environment and a blamey culture she grew up in. Recognizing the destructive nature of anger, she sought anger management counseling at 19 and learned to distinguish emotions from identity. She credits early influences like Oprah for inspiring her to pursue mindfulness, gratitude, and emotional regulation. Emma believes that understanding and managing one's emotions is crucial, not about eliminating feelings, but using them in ways that propel growth instead of causing harm. Throughout her journey, Emma relied heavily on intuition and self-belief, often knowing what was right despite external doubts. She shares how she trusted her gut in business deals and relationships, and that violating this intuition usually led to negative outcomes. This trust in herself is tied to privilege, but also a refusal to compromise integrity or decision-making for short-term gain. Emma acknowledges the ongoing work of aligning with herself and encourages people to listen carefully to their internal voices. Emma's move from England to the United States marks a significant turning point in her mindset. While she had achieved financial success in the UK, the US offered a new level of opportunity without the rigid class hierarchy she experienced back home. In America, she found a culture that values ideas, grit, and willingness to work, rather than background or pedigree. This environment freed her to think bigger, push boundaries, and envision a different future that felt limitless. Despite initial cultural adjustments, she embraced the entrepreneurial spirit and speed of the American market. Emma openly discusses the challenges of balancing intense business commitments with raising 4 children. She acknowledges that parenting expectations today have become more complex and demanding compared to previous generations. Her approach is intentional, prioritizing quality presence over quantity, being selective about involvement, and accepting necessary trade-offs. She highlights that such trade-offs are deeply personal and not dictated by external judgment. Emma also talks about adapting roles and responsibilities as life changes, hiring support when needed, and consciously designing each season of life. Emma credits her thick skin and refusal to be a people pleaser as essential to navigating the public scrutiny and pressures of her career. She chooses to ignore unhelpful criticism and focuses instead on actions that move her closer to her goals. By consistently setting high standards and measuring success against her own values rather than societal expectations, she protects her mental and emotional well-being. Emma emphasizes that most people are not paying as much attention to you as you might think, and staying internally aligned is key. A recurring theme in Emma's story is the vital role of family and community. Though she celebrates her independence, she acknowledges the tapestry of relationships, husband, children, sisters, friends, colleagues, that sustains and enriches her life. She values in-person interactions and nurtures meaningful connections over superficial ones. Emma highlights how strong family support and clear love from her upbringing gave her a foundation to thrive, and how she strives to provide the same environment for her children. Emma addresses common limiting beliefs around money, particularly the myth that one needs substantial capital to start or succeed. She challenges cultural stigmas, especially among women, about discussing or prioritizing money openly. Instead, she encourages embracing financial conversations, recognizing money as a means to freedom and opportunity. Emma shares her unapologetic focus on monetization and asserts that if money isn't central to your work, it will likely avoid you. She advocates for transparency about ambitions and the courage to ask for what you deserve. Owning and operating multiple businesses brings significant pressure, and Emma acknowledges the heaviness of having ultimate responsibility. She talks about how daily challenges and problems are a constant but balances that with gratitude for the autonomy and joy her work brings. She describes leadership as a privilege and an adventure, contrasting her life with many who work solely to pay bills without passion. Emma stays motivated by focusing on choice, love for the work, and celebrating life's moments, big and small. Emma's philosophy centers on personal responsibility and self-work as the foundation for all success. Start with yourself means cultivating self-awareness, managing emotions, setting boundaries, and making deliberate choices guided by values and vision. She reflects on how healing and emotional growth have transformed her over time and stresses that this work never stops. Emma believes that greatness is deeply tied to self-fulfillment and living up to one's highest potential beyond external markers of success. Emma's parting truths focus on love, self-relationship, and purposeful work. She emphasizes the stabilizing and nurturing power of family, the necessity of a healthy, kind relationship with oneself, and the wisdom of discerning where to invest one's energy. For Emma, greatness is defined as continuous self-fulfillment and the courage to live authentically and intentionally. Her journey exemplifies leading with love, embracing complexity, and owning one's story while inviting others to do the same.